She begged everyone to believe her, but they all protected him instead. Before we continue, take a moment to like this video, comment, share it with others, and subscribe to Moral Avenue. Together, we can remind the world that silence never destroys truth, only delays it. Rain hammered the hospital. Windows the night, everything changed. Inside the dim hallway, a young woman sat on a plastic chair, trembling, clutching the edges of her coat like she was holding her own body together. Her hair was wet, her voice barely a whisper, and her eyes held a kind of fear that never lies. Across from her stood the man she accused of being calm, confident, almost bored. He was a doctor. She was a nursing student in training. He smiled like he already knew the outcome. The charge wouldn't stick. The witnesses wouldn't talk. And the hospital would protect its star surgeon. Everyone thought she'd disappear after that. But the shadows have long memories. And karma doesn't forget names. 23-year-old Alyssa Hill was the kind of person everyone overlooked until they needed something. A quiet nursing student, raised by her grandmother, always early to class, always volunteering for double shifts. She wasn't loud, rich, or connected, but she really cared about people. That alone made her shine. The hospital cafeteria staff adored her. The elderly patients asked for her by name. She brought small kindness into rooms that smell like fear and endings. But kindness has a strange way of attracting predators. Enter Dr. Ian Mercer. Brilliant, praise, handsome, known for fixing impossible cases. Also known secretly for flirting with young interns. People whispered about him, but nobody challenged him. And the night he followed Alyssa into the medication room, after hours, her world split open. She filed a report. She gave a statement. She waited for the truth to matter. Instead, the hospital administrator spoke to her like an inconvenience. We don't want to ruin his reputation. There isn't enough evidence. Maybe he misunderstood. Even her classmates avoided her, afraid of being attached to drama. But the deepest cut came when her supervisor, a woman she admired, took her aside and said in a low voice, "It's your word against his. For your career's sake, let this go." And just like that, the institution meant to heal people infected itself with silence. Alyssa tried to go back to work, but everything had changed. Some nurses whispered behind her back. A few residents didn't bother hiding their smirks. One even warned her, "Dr. Mercer has friends everywhere." Her shifts were cut. Her evaluations suddenly dropped. She found herself charting alone in empty wings, like they wanted her gone. One evening, she overheard two doctors near the supply closet. Dr. Mercer won't get fired over some intern. They'll push her out before they touch him. They laughed. She froze. But the worst moment came when she saw Dr. Mercer walking confidently through the hallway, joking with colleagues as though nothing happened. When he passed her, he leaned slightly and murmured, "People forget. Stories fade. Careers don't." And that was the moment something inside her hardened a quiet, determined flame. She began gathering small details, behavioral patterns, names of people who hinted they'd seen things, shifts that didn't add up, moments he disappeared with interns. She didn't have proof yet, but she had the beginnings of a story they couldn't bury forever. Still, life kept testing her. Her grandmother grew sick. Bills piled up. Classes got harder. And some nights, she cried so quietly into her pillow that even the walls didn't hear. But Alyssa wasn't the only one watching. A janitor named Elijah, a soft-spoken older man who had worked in the hospital for decades, noticed things other people missed. Tiny shifts in tone, the way someone carried themselves, the strange tension lingering in rooms long after certain people left. He watched Alyssa struggle. He saw the way Mercer smirked when she walked by. And one night, as he collected trash bags, he whispered, "You're not crazy. You're not alone. And one day, they won't be able to hide it." It was the first kindness she'd felt in weeks. But mercy didn't last. Because the hospital administration suddenly notified her, she was being placed on mandatory leave pending evaluation. In other words, they were pushing her out. Mercer had won, for now. Alyssa packed up her locker slowly, her hands shaking. Years of dreams, long nights, Sacrifices all tossed aside to protect a man with power. But as she reached for the last folder on the top shelf, something slipped out and landed on the floor. A flash drive. She'd never seen it before. Attached was a sticky note in messy, hurried handwriting. You didn't imagine it. He's done this before. Do not let them silence you. No name, no explanation, just a drive heavy with possibility. She rushed home, plugged it into her laptop, and waited. File after file appeared. Hidden security footage, muted hallway recordings, logs of late-night access activity, a few time-stamped clips of interns running out of rooms in tears, copies of complaints that mysteriously vanished from official records. Her breath caught. Someone inside the hospital had been documenting Mercer for years. Someone who couldn't speak up publicly, but wanted the truth to come out. Alyssa felt her pulse race. Real hope flooded her chest. But the final file stopped her cold. A folder labeled "Do Not Ignore Urgent." Inside was a short video. Grainy, shaky, filmed from behind a cracked door. Dr. Mercer, not with one woman, but two terrified interns, cornered in a locked room. Alyssa's hand flew to her mouth. Tears blurred her vision. This wasn't just her story. This was a pattern. A trail of people the system sacrificed to protect a man with a title. Her next step was obvious. Take the evidence to the police. But as she grabbed her keys, headlights flooded across her living room window. A car slowed. Stop. Engine humming. She froze. She recognized the license plate. Dr. Mercer's black sedan. He was outside her home, watching, waiting, as if he knew exactly what had landed in her hands. Alyssa ducked behind the curtain, heart slamming against her ribs. The flash drive still burned warm in her palm. Mercer didn't get out of the car. He just sat there in a silhouette behind the wheel like a hunter waiting for movement. After a moment, her phone buzzed. A blocked number. A single text. You need to stop. Another text followed. I know what you took. Her stomach churned. Before she could respond, a new text came through, this time from an unknown name. Elijah, do not leave your house. He isn't alone. A chill ran down her spine. She peered outside again. Another figure stepped out of the shadows near Mercer's car. Someone she recognized. Her supervisor. The same woman who told her to let it go. They were working together. Her breath hitched. Her legs nearly buckled. She wasn't just up against one man. She was up against a ring of people who'd rather destroy her than admit the truth. And now, they knew she had the evidence. Alyssa clutched the flash drive to her chest as fear turned into resolve. She whispered to herself, they may think I'm alone, but they're wrong. Her next move could expose everything or end everything. The screen cuts to black. To be continued. Moral: silence protects the powerful, courage protects the truth. If this story shook you, make sure to subscribe and click the bell to Moral Avenue, where we uncover the truth behind the moments that could happen to anyone. Please take a moment to like this video, share it with friends, subscribe to Moral Avenue, and leave a comment below. Your support helps us continue spreading stories that inspire and heal. Before we end, here's one request. Comment below what you would have done if you were in Alyssa's place. Thank you for watching Moral Avenue.